pretty good shape. And there's a lot of energy around the sport. There's a lot of positivity. Clearly there's some negativity as well. But if you look at our drivers and how engaged they are, our drivers are engaged more than ever. And they're out with the fans. They're out. They're doing more. I mean, it's really, really fun. Been fun to watch them this year. So I think that helps. I think that helps build a new foundation of getting fans to know these drivers and appreciate them. Because I promise you this, a lot of people say this to me, hey, those guys aren't as good as y'all were. That's bullshit. And excuse my language. It is. These guys are damn good at what they do. And there's some of us that couldn't do it in this environment. There's some that could, and there's some of these that couldn't have done it in our environment. And there's some that could. It's every sport moves. Every sport changes. The best quarterback 50 years ago wouldn't be good enough today. I'm not saying he couldn't be good enough, but he would have had to do it different than he did it 50 years ago. And that's how this is too. So I think we're in great shape. I do know we need to be better in some areas. I do know there's some things that can be better, and we can't ignore those. However, I think it's a crazy, crazy mistake just to say, well, this is wrong, so it's all wrong. I think that's a big mistake. And if we make changes based on people thinking that the whole thing is wrong, you know, we had 3.5, 4 million people watching this thing on weekends. That's pretty damn good in today's environment, right? It's a challenging environment for spectators. It's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of competition, but you know, we can be better, but we're pretty good.
Jeff, who should determine how the sport is run? Meaning, is it the fans who decide? Is it the TV networks who decide? If NASCAR listens to the fans, it's one thing. If they listen to the networks, it's another thing. If they listen to the drivers, it's another thing. You know, it's really interesting as we watch all that's going on today to figure out who should you listen to when you're running the sport, the sanctioning body. What do you think?
So I think that NASCAR or the NBA or your local diner need to take data and information from the people that are consuming it, and then the diner, NASCAR, the NFL, they have to make the decision. The drivers shouldn't make a decision, but they should be heard, right? The owners shouldn't make the decision, but they should be heard. So the fans shouldn't make the decision, but they should be heard, because none of those things, none of those people, we could put 100 fans in here and all 100 of them wouldn't agree. Yeah. So the ones you don't listen to will say, well, we didn't listen to the fans, but these over here said, well, you listen to me, right? So,
well, the loudest ones aren't always.
But we have to also appreciate the loud ones, because they care enough to be loud.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, you have to look at everything. Mm-hmm. You have to take all the information, and then they have to make a decision. And that's just how it has to be. And the drivers should be heard, because there's no one that knows what's going on out there more than they do. But they don't know what it looks like from the grandstands, right? So you have to hear that part too. So everyone should have a voice, but at the end of the day, NASCAR has decisions that they have to make.
What about the fans who don't say much? You know, somehow got to get them out too. It's hard to get everybody's thought.
You have to do what you think is right. And what the fans that a decision is made that doesn't go their way have to recognize, it doesn't mean that they didn't listen to the fans. This particular group of fans may not like it, but this one over here does. It goes the same with the drivers. We will be in conversations with NASCAR about something. They go against what a group of drivers think, and so this group will say, well, they didn't listen to us. Yeah. They listened to you, they just chose something else. That's how life is, right? And I've done this for a long time. My rookie year was 94. Okay, so I've been here for 31 years. I can assure the drivers, the fans, the sponsors that never before has voices of all those groups been heard more than they are today. Never before. And I get it. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, but it's not that they didn't listen. It's just You have to make a decision. And just because you want something doesn't mean somebody else doesn't want something else. That's the problem with media, is if you get 10,000 people saying, think about this. So 3.5 million people watch, and I'll get 10 negative comments after a race, and 3.5 million people watched. But those 10 feel like a lot. So you have to recognize what's real, what's not, and you have to not recognize what's a problem and what's not. And we're going to disagree on those things. It's the point system. We're going to disagree on those things, right? There's going to be disagreement. But NASCAR just got to make a decision on what they think is best for the sport. Listen to the loud ones because they deserve to be listened to. But that doesn't mean they're the only ones. And it's the most difficult part of any business, of a family relationship, of anything, is making a decision and knowing when to do something different. It's one of the most difficult things in life, but they'll have to do it.
Was it easier this season having Leigh Diffey at the start of the NBC run rather than kind of midway through your run jumping in with him?
I don't know. We had worked with Leigh some before. Obviously, we just worked with Rick much more. But we had worked with Leigh at the 24-hour. He had come in and he had done Watkins Glen and Michigan, I think. And so we had worked with him, and we had good rapport already. So I wouldn't say that it was easier. He's so easy to work with, and loves the sport, and super easy to work with. So I wouldn't think it was easier. I know it sounds crazy, but no.
Given your accent and given his accent, could you two understand each other when you first met?
We've never had a problem. Well, I can understand him. I don't know if he can understand me, but I can understand him.
I am curious. So last week I was talking with Jeff Burton, ahead of Darlington, and kind of just reflecting on this place, right? And one of the things that he said was he thinks physically, mentally, drivers are pushing harder every lap, which kind of goes back to what you were saying a little bit earlier.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Frontstretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Frontstretch fans can use promo code Frontstretch to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay rewarded.
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.